Guys, this is Crafty Cat. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. We are here with my little tiny sketchbook. It just hand size, a little bit bigger, 2 hands. This is my Artistro sketchbook and I have done a little quick sketch of a bridge going through the forest, and there are some, there's a path here and there's a lot of greenery and forget-me-nots growing on the path, and there's a really bright patch of light green here where the sun is shining behind the bridge. And there's more pretty they're vibrant greens and lots of branches and trees and stuff. So I thought we'd give my Meeden Gouache a try again. So this is the Meeden Gouache. It's a set of 24 gouache from Meeden. I got these on Amazon and they're light fast, and I think I paid like $22. So they come in tubes and these are already dry. So let me just show you what I mean. And this is the Meeden palette that I bought to go with it. So these are completely dry right now. I've got a paper towel and I need a way to make this come up a bit. I have this little box with another palette in it that I bought recently. So if I put that behind, I think that will work. But I think we need some clips. So let's clip these up. We need at least 3 clips. So this paper that I'm using is not watercolor paper. I mean, it is watercolor paper, but it's not 100% cotton, is what I was trying to say. It's like wood pulp paper. But I like this paper, so we're going to use it. So, and I've got it taped off. So what I think I'm going to do is give it a little spritz with my misting bottle. And I'm going to clean this out because I don't need any reds. I left this because I didn't want to waste it. But I don't need red, so let's clean that off. I'll just use, I think, some Kleenex to clean that off. But I'm going to leave the blue in there because I am going to be needing blue. Sorry, I hit the camera. It is officially my video now. Alright, so I have these 3 gouache brushes. They're from my Meeden Gouache set. I have a flat one of these, and a round one. And you can see the sizes on there. And I also have some other brushes that I might grab if these aren't working. But first up, I want some yellow. So I'm just going to make a little puddle of yellow over here. And these are reconstituting nicely. So right in behind where this bridge is, it's all yellow about up to here. So I just want to go in here with some yellow. And also below the bridge in the middle, there's some yellow. And it kind of goes over here. And there's some back in here. And there's a little bit back in here in between the trees. So I've used that really thin, almost like watercolor. And I'm going to be going over this with a lot of green. And then I need some light blue. I think I'm going to clean my brush really well. I think I want some of this blue. For up in behind these branches where the sky is just peeking through. It was a beautiful blue sky, but you could barely see it through these branches. And I need a gray for the walkway here. And I already have a gray over here mixed. So it's a very light gray over here, like, and then a little bit darker over here. So how am I going to do this?
This is a reminder. Take my Tylenol.
So I just want a whole background of gray here.
This is a reminder. Take my Tylenol.
So I just want a background of gray here. We'll be going over it with other colors. And I'm just going to get some white and mix it with the gray. I don't think I got any white though. Like a little pool of white over here. Okay. And I just want to go and kind of dab it back in here. And there's a few spots of this more white color over here. And I'm just going to go with a little bit darker gray right over here. Just there's that little line there and a little line right here, and it will bleed into the pathway, and that's okay. And there's a little bit dark over here. Over here. Over here. Kind of like that. So I'm just going to leave that for now. And I need more of the white, the gray white. And then the darker gray back here. Yeah, this is a big brush for what I'm doing. I should probably have a smaller brush. But the big brush keeps you looser. Alright, so there's the bridge for now. And now I want to go into my greens. I want this to dry though. So I want my lightest green mixed with some yellow. And I just want to slowly dab in some of this light green. up in here. I don't care about these hard edges because I'll be covering them later. And let some of this color just run in. And I'm going to just dab some down here. And now I need some darker green. Not that green. What if I add some red to that green? Too dark. That would actually be good for the tree branches later. There's a cascaded green coming down this way. I love the greens this time of year. They're so beautiful. And I think next we need to add some blue for the forget-me-nots, don't we? So we're doing that. I love forget-me-nots. They're so beautiful. And there's different colors of blue. They're not just one. There's some, I want some darker ones and lighter ones. And now we're going in with the trees. I already had that branch color sort of mix. I just made it a little bit darker. So I really like the way the trees kind of swoop over the bridge. It's so cool. So I'm going with a really thin brush now. And I'm adding some black to this color. And we're going to quickly paint all of the skinny branches. This is not working very good. This is a King Art brush and it's separating on me. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see where it's separating? Yeah, this brush is useless. I am switching to a Daler Rowney number 10/0. And now we're going to go back to painting the skinnier branches. And by the way, guys, this portion is sped up by 10 times my normal speed. And that's just because the video would be much too long if I left the whole thing at regular speed. I tried to do a good mix of half and half. So I am just going in here now and I'm adding some more of the gray to the pathway. It's a little rocky pathway. And now we're adding some more greens to the trees. I want light tones, mid-tones, and dark tones. And the nice thing about gouache is you can paint light over dark, which is what you can't do with normal watercolor. Gouache is a watercolor, but it's an opaque watercolor. So it lets you do light over dark. That's not normally possible with regular watercolor. I really do like this Meeden Gouache. It's really nice. So I'm just going, right now I'm trying to add contrast, trying to make sure we have enough darks and lights. I'm adding the shadow and the darker greens at the side of the path and the darker shadows in the underbrush, or I'm trying to anyway. I'm just a beginner, don't forget, and this is only my second time using this Meeden Gouache. I really do like it though. So yeah, I would like to paint this again bigger one day. So here I am adding some more shadows. I'm using a very dark green. I'm adding some leaves and grasses. I just really want that contrast, and I figured I needed a little bit more dark colors. And every once in a while, I stop and take a look at my brush and make sure that the tip isn't shredding apart. The fine tips, I find they wreck really easily. Do you have a tip for that? How to keep them nice? So I'm adding some more lights now, some light green, and trying to paint that in. I probably should have waited for it to dry, but I didn't. So I was really into the zone while I was painting this. I really enjoyed this painting. I'm very much looking forward to trying this gouache again. And I think I want to try this exact picture again in on a bigger piece of paper. I think it would be really nice. This isn't perfect, and I made a lot of mistakes, but I've learned a lot from doing this, and I am quite happy with it. There's only a few things I wish I could change. All right, now I am using some pen. These are different tones of brown from like a tan color to a darker brown because I want my bridge to have some more browns in it, but not too many because the bridge was mainly gray with just a little wee bit of brown. And I'm adding some darker colors into the trees as well using these little pens that I bought off of Temu. And I'm just adding some squiggles for rocks on the walkway. And then that's it with the pens. So now the painting is finished. So I'm going to take off the clips. And we're back to real time. And my painting is still a little bit wet at this point. So it does look a little bit different when it's dry, but I will show you that later. Because gouache dries differently, but we're going to remove the tape now. And this is just Dollarama tape, and it works really well in this little notebook, the sketchbook. It never tears this paper, although it does tear my Paul Rubens paper. But so far, every tape I've tried tears my Paul Rubens paper. But let's get the tape pieces off. And that's it. It's all done. All I have to do now is write the date and the stuff that I use on the bottom, and we'll be done. All right, so here we go. I'm just using a Sharpie, and I'm just going to write the date that I did this, and I'm going to write Meeden Gouache, and probably that this was taken from a reference. So I'm editing this quite a lot after I painted it, and I painted it quite a lot after our walk, so it's just trying to remember everything as I'm doing this in editing. And I really need to get a smaller pen for writing this. I would like a finer tip. But yeah, that's all I'm doing here. I had so much fun doing this, and I really hope you enjoyed it too. There we go. All right, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like close up while it's still wet. I'm quite happy with how it looks. The pathway looks really nice because this is a rough paper. It's a cold press paper, but it's rather rough, and it gives it a really nice texture. And in a little while, we're going to come back and I'll show you what it looks like dry, okay? So hang on for a second. We're almost done. Hi guys, so here is my finished picture of my Meeden Gouache painting that I did based on a walk that I took, and I'll put more footage here of the walk. So we're coming up to another little bridge. Isn't this beautiful? Can you see why I call this the fairy tale path? This is my favorite time of year for walking here. There's no bugs yet. It's warm but not hot. There's a nice breeze. Lots of animals. There's all the baby leaves on the trees. And all of these beautiful spots. And the best part of all the forget-me-nots lining the pathway. So we're coming to the end of this portion of the path. I'm sad to see it go, but I'll turn around and go back that way maybe. Depends on how much water is happening, if there's any flooding. You can see here, there's a problem. Isn't that gorgeous? The walk, not the painting. There's some issues I could have fixed. I'm not sure that I like the way these branches just kind of look like smudges. So, you know, I might go over these again now that this is dry with some more paint. But I wanted to show you it finished. I had a lot of fun doing this. This was a beautiful walk. This is my favorite section of that part of the walk. And I think I might do this again bigger because this is pretty small. But anyway, yeah. And let me show you a little bit closer up the bridge itself. And this section here was so pretty that day because you could see the light just shining through the open area once you go through that little tunnel. It was so pretty. So yeah, I hope you liked this. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that like button, the subscribe, the notification bell, all of those things that help as a channel. And most importantly of all, take care, stay safe, and happy painting. Bye guys. See you. Thank you for spending time with me today. Bye-bye.